few guys tried some different things. You see Matthew Skoltz, PJ Jacobsen, and Josh Hayes there on the front row. Josh has been working on a lot of different things. Scott, Lewis, and Davis there on row number 2. Back on to row number 3, we're going to have Kayla Yakov, Hobbs, and Torrin Collins. Torrin's done a really nice job. Dave Anthony Vanderbroek, Max Van Rother, and Cameron Peterson there on row 4. Nassani, Black, Enriquez, Sneed, Williams, and Soltis, row 6. And then we're going to go back to Mags, Monk, Omen, Allen, Horney, De Leon. And then a little further back, we got Bittner and Ivy. Now, Greg,
18 laps scheduled for race number 2 in Motovation Supersport. When these lights go off, revs are up, so here we go. And away we go to turn number 1. Who's going to get that whole shot?
Yeah, you're going to see it here. It looks like Matthew Skoltz. Josh Hayes also with a great launch. He's going to fire that R9 of his into second. We got R9s up in the first 4 spots right now, as it looks like Blake Davis and Jake Lewis are going to form a quartet of R9s as we had somebody go down going up the hill. Not sure who that was just yet. So we had a rider down on turn 1. You see the safety car. Rider's up and good. I'm trying to figure out who that is. It looks like it could be Owen Williams. Let's see, it looks like it's Owen. Yeah, it's an Altus bike, 13. Don't see him do that very often, Greg. So good news is he's up and okay. You can see a lot of mud, but Matthew Skoltz has done the split job right off the bat down through those S's on lap 1. Josh Hayes told me today, he says, Jace, I'm usually really good in sector 1. He goes, Matthew's a 0.8 of a second quicker than me down through there. He's very fast. So you can see that gap that Matthews pulled out. Hayes, Blake Davis, Jake Lewis, and then PJ Jacobsen and Cam Peterson, I believe, are going to round out your top 6.
To build on what you said, what Josh Hayes was saying about Matthew Skoltz, the number 1 plate, all the riders that I spoke with as Blake Davis drafts and pass into second place. Here comes PJ as the sitting duck number 4, but it's the top of the hill in turn number 2 where Skoltz is so brilliant. Everybody looking for some room. Whoa, Ty Scott looking for some real estate, and he got away with that one.
PJ literally went from 5th almost to 2nd, only to get closed out, and there was a lot of stuff happening down there. So they're going to come out kind of the way they all started the back straightaway. That was some good tight racing there in the end. Blake Davis and Jake Lewis are starting to streak away themselves in that 2nd and 3rd place spot.
So far, it's been an all Yamaha R9 affair. Here comes the Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki of Ty Scott out of the draft of Josh Hayes. Here we go back down into turn number 10, and it's the North Georgia bar brawl again. But it's going to be a little cleaner as Cam Peterson now tries to go around the outside of everybody. No drive available for him there, but it looks like Hayes was able to scooch right back by the 45 of Cam Peterson.
1.2 seconds out front. As you see this guy's going down, you're going to see Josh Hayes again. See the space that he's given. Now Cam tries to go around the outside of PJ. Hayes is going to be underneath him, getting that bike turned and up off the edge of the tires. PJ runs just to the outside of Ty Scott. And it's created this space and this gap as he's going to try to go down the inside of Ty Scott as they crest the top of this hill. And he's going to have to do something special to outbrake Ty Scott at the bottom, because Ty looks like he's really confident in that GSX-R 750 front end. And you can see he just basically got in there, pushed PJ out.
He told me he's been coming here to Michelin Racing Road Atlanta since he was 9 years old. And I said, 9 years old? He said, yeah, RS 125. He is a huge fan of 2-stroke motorcycles, and the 22 is looking for an RS 125 that he can buy and have in his collection, or a TZ 250. So, and then you have, of course, your championship points leader in the Ray Hall Ducati Moto with Expel. That's the number 15 of PJ Jacobsen, trying to use the horsepower of that Ducati to go around, but Ty Scott so good on the brakes. R9s, a brand new model for Yamaha this year, and they're banking on rolling these things off the showroom floor by racing here in MotoAmerica. And then Jake Lewis also on a Yamaha on the Altus Motorsports machine. That's your 1, 2, 3, and now we're looking at the battle once again for 4th place.
And I can tell you, as a rider, Ty Scott is so happy to be good in that sector of the track. As you see, PJ continues to pull up alongside of him. The braking of the 70 is really, really good. So that team has obviously been working very, very hard. As you said, get a look at Xavi Flores sitting there looking at his rider Blake Davis going through. Wasn't that long ago we got to see Xavi win a bunch of races here in MotoAmerica. It's so good to see him as PJ Jacobsen makes the pass in turn 1.
All right, so now we'll see if Ty Scott can fire back right away, or does PJ have some speed to break away and try to close this gap that's about 3 seconds to the riders in front of them.
Because he did not want to lose touch with Matthew Skoltz, and I'm sure he wasn't anticipating being in the battle that he was in, but now he's definitely got a lot more work to do. This is exactly what he was hoping to avoid.
Yeah, and there he goes from 4th to 3rd around Jake Lewis. sliding it sideways. Of course, PJ Jacobsen.
Might just be obviously a little bit too much. Matthew pulled half a second on these guys, or more actually. Half a second on PJ in that first split. Now PJ's got that lead. Blake's going to be able to redraft here and pull out to the left and maybe go back past him if PJ's not careful. It looks like Blake's going to, he's not quite there. PJ's got the thing backed in. Do I let it go just a little? Does he see me? So when you see these guys racing as close as they are there, these decisions are getting made in like literally splits and splits of seconds to be able to do that. So good, Teague Hobbs down. That's going to be probably, is that last corner, Greg? A lot of talent and skills. You see Cam Peterson and Ty Scott, they've been doing this lap after lap. The only reason I know is because I've been looking out my window, and Cam has gotten down the inside, down the front straightaway a few times on Ty Scott as they go down into this last corner. You probably pull out to the right of him. Let's see if he does that. Yep, pulls out to the right. He's going to go by, but then watch when they get through. You're going to see he's ahead, but watch Ty Scott go to the left and just outbrake. I mean, Ty's got so much confidence.
Look at Ty Scott. I talked to him earlier today, Jay, and we were talking about at least for the first lap in sector number 1, they couldn't do it, and Schultz was able to have an empty racetrack in front of him and do anything he wanted to do. White flag out, final lap, spreading out at the front. Schultz, PJ, and Blake Davis. This would still have PJ Jacobsen leading this championship by 8 points. As we head off to our next race in about 3.5 weeks' time, we're going to Wisconsin. Road America.
Down through these S's, and PJ can see Matthew Schultz, and he's finally broke Blake Davis here, Greg, over the last, well, really the last couple sectors here. He was able to do it. I'm looking here now, 34.4 to 34.7 for Blake Davis in this first split. So PJ's gonna, I don't know if he'll have a look over his shoulder coming out of turn 7, but if he did, it's gonna give him a little bit of knowledge knowing that he's not gonna be, Blake's not going to be close enough to outbrake him going down into turn number 10. But this is all about this guy in this race, as Matthew has a long look over his shoulder. There's, I tell you, there's nothing better than that when you have a peak back there, half a lap to go. You almost feel like you can just coast the bike to that checkered flag, especially after you go up this next big steep hill. It goes down through turn 10, 10B. It's been a perfect ride for Matthew Schultz. Great start, and he's putting that day behind him from yesterday, getting that 5th spot. He's going to walk away with 25 points today, G-Dub.
Onto the front straightaway, Matthew Schultz, wheel in the air on his Yamaha R9, his 25th career win in MotoAmerica competition. PJ Jacobsen safely across in 2nd place. Blake Davis will round out your podium.
Ty Scott found his way back through on Cam Peterson because, oh man, Cam got out of shape. Cam actually was ahead going into the white flag lap. And anyways, 5th place for Cam. Great ride by Ty Scott. We're waiting for David Anthony. He is, I believe, 10th. As you get a good look at Cam, putting a lot of body and listening to that thing when it went sideways, right?
Mentioned to him that he already crashed this weekend and is a little sore. He is not afraid of twisting the grip.
Just need another month. Get him healthy for Road America, hopefully.
You see the race pace for Matthew Schultz in his track racing Yamaha R9, and you can see there, lap 12. I don't know if he was answering something on his pit board, but that's
crazy, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Barber in here. We've had a lot of weather. As you look at the results here, PJ Jacobsen 4.1, Blake Davis, Ty Scott, Cam Peterson rounded out that top 5. Lewis Hayes, Collins, good run for Torrin Collins. Happy to see that. Kayla Yakov and David Anthony rounded out your top 10 today.
Blake Davis, and it really a sign of things to come. You can see how young he still is, but he's able to learn from the experience of Matthew Schultz.
Yeah, and I liked what he said. He's finished behind those guys enough. He needs to make that step, and I think he can do it. I think having a teammate, as you mentioned, and moving to track racing can really get him to that next level. And, you know, now he sees he's 5 seconds off the leader, and now let's see if he can get closer and toward the end, fight for those guys week in and week out for wins.
Some of the races that we have coming up here in the championship, Rogers, let's talk about Road America and the complexities of that racetrack compared to here at Road Atlanta over the next couple of weeks. What can be done to close that gap?
The big thing is going to be for, you know, these teams is horsepower for that new R9. We're going to really see it stretch its legs at Road America. There's 3 long straightaways there. So for some people, we're a little bit set up and maybe a little bit of riding, but horsepower really comes into play there, and PJ's kind of a smaller rider as well, so I think that kind of really helps him out as well going into Road America and all the other.
They opened up the championship, but with PJ's 1-2, he hasn't been off the podium all season. Schultz has 1 time off the podium.